Alright guys, we are working on the old K30. Actually, I think it's technically classified as a V30 because of the year model. It's an 88 cabin chassis, so it's like an 87, 86, and anyway, K30, V30, whatever you want to call it. It's a sweet old truck that has a dead battery. So, we got to jump it. She's dead. We're gonna have to let this battery charge up a little bit to get enough cranking amps to get this thing to turn over enough to start. We got something in the electrical that's wrong, and it's draining the battery. So I didn't disconnect the battery like I should have, so I've got to figure out what's going on in the electrical, something's staying on and draining the battery. We got a lot of electrical work to do on this thing for sure. Alright, so the plan on this thing is to get this flatbed actually set on here somewhat straight and hopefully get it fastened down and get some lights hooked up so this thing can actually be street legal. I've got to get some better tires for it, at least temporary, till we get it lifted and I can put some actual mud trains on it that we want. But I'm going to try to get this bed maneuvered around a little bit, kind of actually set in place. I've got to do some cutting and then probably weld it on. So, see if I can get this thing on well enough to operate a little bit. Alright, so what we got to do here, this is the bracket that will weld to the frame, and there's a chunk of the old frame, whatever truck this was on before, which supposedly was another one of these trucks, but I need to cut some of this out, get this chunk out of the way, and hopefully maintain a piece of this at least to weld to this part. And then on the front up here, I'm gonna have to get some more steel to make it a little more secure because they cut everything off of it right there. So I'm gonna have to get a spacer and another bracket, but I think I can use the back and maybe some of the metal I've got in the middle here and at least get it on solid enough to be safe to drive. And it fell off the high lift jack. That's why high lift jacks are dumb. And why I told the kids to stay away while I was doing this. No big deal. I'll pick it back up, get it back up here where I can get that cut off the rest of the way. All right, we got that chunk cut off of here. So we've got two tabs hanging down here now that will fit on either side of this frame rail. Problem is our front end of this bed is slid off the frame, so it's sitting on the inside. So I'm going to stick a 2x4 right under here. Let's see, stay back from the bed, okay, in case it falls, Caleb. You're going to stick this right here. And see if we can let the back down and kind of act as a fulcrum and kind of get this thing around where it needs to be. I'm not saying this is how this is supposed to be done. I'm just saying this is how this can be done. All right, I've got, these are lined up with the frame, but I need to slide that piece of steel all the way up as close as I can get it to this rear spring mount so that I can get the bed up as close to the cab as possible. It's not gonna, there'll be a gap here, but it won't be too bad once I get this. I've got about 5 inches. I need to slide this bed straight forward without sliding it off the frame rails again. So, see if I can get this another 5-6 inches forward. All right, ratchet straps and high lift jacks for the win. I got this all the way up against the spring mount there. So that's as far forward as this bed can go. I can weld it back there. I can weld it in the middle. I need a spacer up here. You can see where there used to be one right here and they cut it out from whatever truck was on it before. So I need to find a steel spacer. I don't have one right now, but I might have something laying around at the shop somewhere. So I'll come up with something there, but for now I'm gonna fasten it in the back and in the middle a little bit. I may go ahead and put a strap on it here. It just won't have a direct contact with the frame at the moment. All right, guys, it's another day. I'm back working on the 1-ton, at least for a little bit. I'm also working on the trailer. So I'm doing 2 videos and 2 projects at the same time, kind of simultaneously, but you'll get them at different times. But I have the wheels off because I got new tires on the red truck, and I took the old tires off the red truck and I put them on the wheels for the 1-ton, at least temporarily. So I've got some E-rated tires on the 1-ton. It'll actually have 6 tires on it. And I got some new Cooper AT3 XLTs on the truck. They couldn't get the size I wanted. I wanted 305/70/16s, but they are on national back order, so I had to go to 285/75/16s. Same height tire, but a little bit narrower. I think the 305s look better on the truck, but these are the same height. So I've got the same clearance. They're just a slightly narrower tire, but they'll still do the job. But I went back to all terrains on the truck because I'm not using it for off-road stuff as much as I was. I've got the STT Pros on the Suburban. I got the AT3s on this. Then my black truck, I've got the Milestar Patagonia MTs on it. I got all kinds of different tires, but I'm going to put the Cooper STT Pros here that are basically worn out, but not completely. But I'm going to slap them on the 1 ton so I can have some tires on it, at least for rolling around. So I'll have 305 70/16s on here, and then these tires I'm keeping, they'll be my inner tires on the back here. And these are two 85 75/16s, so they are the same height as the 305s, or at least pretty close, but they're a little bit narrower. So I got all kinds of weird stuff going on here, and all the rims on this truck are different. Like these two match, and I've got one more that matches that, and then I've got two that match in here that are off a Dodge, and then one that doesn't match it. I don't know what it's off of. So we got all. We'll make it match later. Right now we're just getting it rolling. We got lots of upgrades and stuff to do. I'll find matching rims, make all these match later on. So you can complain about it. Right now I don't really care because it's temporary. But I'm gonna get these wheels out and throw them on here, and we'll actually have 6 tires that are halfway decent, sort of, on the 1 ton, so it can roll down the road and we can actually start using it. And I've got the bolts and stuff to get this bed finished up. I don't know if I'll get that today because I need to work on the camper today to try to get it finished so we can go on some trips. I got lots of stuff to do and not very much time. Yeah, that's just my life. All right, let's get to work. All right, here's all our tires. As you can see, those two match. Supposedly those are off a Dodge. This one and this one don't match, but that one kind of matches what's currently on the back. So I think I'm gonna do this one and this one as front tires because they've got the best tread, and these two as back. And those will be my inner and these will be my outer. So nothing matches, but who cares? And it is hot. Summer is arriving here in Arkansas this week. Heat indexes are well over 100. It's just not very nice out. I got the front ones on. I need to put some more air in them, and I need to work on the back. I'm gonna go inside and cool off for a minute, and it might be dinner time, so I might have to go eat. Well, I've had some dinner, about 5 pounds fatter. It was really good. Mashed potatoes, Salisbury steak, corn on the cob, fresh sourdough rolls right out of the oven with butter. Not getting any lighter. Time to get these wheels put on. See if we can get them put on the back here. Well, I've run into a minor issue here. I can't fit these tires on. So these are 305 70/16 and this one's a 285 75. So they're about the same height, but this one back here is narrower than this one. But the way this truck is built, the 285 won't fit because it hits the spring, so you can't turn it in. And this one also won't go in far enough to get on the lugs. So I'll just have to go back and put one wheel on the back for right now. Later on, I'm going to run duals on it, but I'm going to get some really skinny tires so that they'll fit, which is what I want anyway, because I don't want big fat duals on the back for what I'm going to do with it, because that's going to be extra increased flotation that I don't want when crossing creeks, because it'll make the back end too light. It's too much air in those big tires. So I'm going to run skinny duals on it. I'll have plenty of width with duals, so I'll run skinny tires and that'll fit. For now, I'll just have to go back to one wheel on the back. All right, we got matching tires on there. I got them all aired up. I'm gonna fire this thing up, see if she'll start, and take it for a spin with matching tires and see if it runs a little better. I also haven't put it in four-wheel drive yet. The tire sizes that were on it didn't match, so I didn't put it in four-wheel drive so nothing would get in a bind. Now that we got matching tire sizes, we'll lock in the hubs and put it in four-wheel drive and find out if it works. I think it does. Previous owner said it did. I'm pretty sure it will, but I'm gonna try to test it out. I also got lights put in the other day. I didn't film it, but I got new lights put in, wired up. They're working. Had a fuse blown on one of the turn signals, but it's working. So we got headlights, taillights, brakes, turns. So this thing is street legal. Finally. Runs. Well, the four-wheel drive seems to work. Little rubbing on the front. I was wondering if they would rub. Some research on this a little bit, looking at the rear axle, how close that tire was to the spring. And evidently, because this is a cabin chassis, they actually have a narrower axle. I think this has a 14-bolt rear axle, whereas a regular dually from like 87 or so would have had a Dana 70 rear end. I'm not 100% sure on that. I've just done some mild research. Maybe some of you that know these old Chevys, 70s, 80s Chevys, a little better can tell me, this is an 88 cabin chassis, and the rear axle is super narrow. Basically, it's the same width as the front axle to the outside of the tire, so it's really narrow for a dually, which is perfect for what we want to do with this, because the roads in the Ozarks, if you've been out there, you know they're super narrow roads all over the place. Almost any trail you go on is going to be narrow. You're going to be getting pinstripes. I mean, fitting a regular full size is hard enough. Most modern dualies, there are tons of spots you are not going to fit between the trees. But because this is so narrow, this thing is going to fit. I mean, it's still going to be tight, but it's going to fit as well as any full size truck. And even a lot of smaller trucks are probably just about as wide as this thing. So it's perfect. It's the perfect truck for what we want to do. We just got a lot of building to do. Oh, I love it. Woo, I've been wanting one of these for a long time. Only this speedometer worked. So I've been working on the camper today, which you've probably already seen this video of working on the trailer tongue. While I got all my welding and cutting and all my metalworking stuff out, I'm gonna work on the old K30 V30 a little more. I need to get this bed fastened down. These plates are already here. I'm gonna drill through and bolt right there, and I'm gonna weld on a new plate right in this area, come down onto the frame, drill and bolt to the frame there, and get 4 big bolts into the frame, and that'll hold that thing on well enough. That's not going to be a permanent solution, so I'm not going to weld it all to the frame and make it real permanent, because I'm going to need to take that thing off hopefully fairly soon. So I just want to get it where I can use it while I've got it. So let's get the truck pulled over here and do some more work. All right, so what we've got is, I've got a couple of these plates that I cut out. This is 1/4 inch plate, and I'm gonna take it right under here and weld it to the bed, and then bolt it to the frame right there, one on each side. And then I've already got plates on the back part of the frame right there. So I'm gonna drill a hole right here, and 2 bolts there, 2 bolts up closer to the front, and call it good for temporary securement of this bed to the frame. All right, we got this side on. Now we just need to get the plate put on the other side. Well, the camera turned off on me, but I've got that plate on there now too. It ain't pretty, but it's gonna work. So now I need to drill through here, through the frame, in 4 different spots. And I've got these, I believe these are 5/8 bolts. So I've got grade 8, get 4 of those on there, and it ought to hold this thing on, if my drill bits will last for drilling all these holes. One down, 3 to go. All right, the bed is on. Truck's running pretty good. This is just stage 1. We're gonna use it for a little bit like this. hopefully I will be able to pick up a wrecker bed. I found one for sale. I'm gonna hopefully go pick it up maybe in a week or so whenever I can get over to that area. Hoping to be able to go pick up that wrecker bed or find another one closer to me. That one's a little ways away, but we're gonna get a wrecker bed for this thing. We've got a long list of things to do to this. Tires, lift, lockers, a long list. I want to box the frame eventually. I've kind of got a stage 1 goal for it. That's kind of a budget, get it built, get it operating, see how it's gonna work. And then I've kind of got the ultimate build idea for it that'll be like a phase 2 build. But I got lots of ideas. I just don't have the money for it right now. So we're gonna piece it together as we can and hopefully have an operating off-road recovery vehicle in the near future. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's all I got for today, and we'll see you next time.